Hello. We hope you're enjoying your stay at Toshi's place.
To help you make the most of your time in Kamakura, we've prepared this sightseeing guide.
Today, we'll introduce you to Hasedera Temple. It's one of those places in Kamakura that just feels special. Like it has layers you want to peel back.
Oh, absolutely. It's got this amazing mix, doesn't it? History, spirituality, stunning nature, art. It really captures that Kamakura feeling.
Totally. And we've got some great info to dive into here. Stuff about its founding legends, the amazing Kannon statue, those incredible gardens.
Right, and the visitor experience, too. It's not just about looking, it's about feeling the place. The sources really paint a picture of the whole atmosphere.
So let's try and unpack that. What makes Hasedera tick? Why is it such a beloved spot, drawing pilgrims and sightseers alike?
Sounds good. I think to really get it, we have to start way back with how it supposedly began.
Oh, hit me with the origin story. This is where it gets pretty legendary, right?
It really does. So the legend connects it to a monk named Takuda Shonin way back in the 8th century. He's also linked to the original Hasedera in Nara.
Ah, the Nara connection.
Yeah. The story goes he found this enormous camphor tree. Huge. And he carved two big Kannon statues from it. One stayed in Nara.
And the other one?
Well, this is the cool part. He apparently set the second one adrift in the sea near Osaka, praying it would wash up somewhere it was needed to help people.
Wow, just cast into the ocean. That's quite an act of faith.
It really is a beautiful idea, a sacred statue on a journey. But what's interesting is when you look at the actual historical records.
Legend versus history. There's often a gap, isn't there?
Exactly. The oldest solid piece of evidence of a temple is actually a bell, and it's from the mid-13th century, much later.
Okay, so a few hundred years difference. What does the bell tell us?
It tells us that by then, by the Kamakura period, when the shogunate was in power, the temple was already a big deal. It was called Shin Hasedera, the new Hasedera.
Right, so it was definitely thriving by the 13th century, even if the legendary roots go back further.
Precisely. And the absolute centerpiece, the reason so many people go, is that incredible Kannon statue.
The main image, it's meant to be massive, right?
Oh, it is. The 11-headed Kannon Bodhisattva, it's over 9 meters tall, like 30 feet. It's one of the biggest wooden statues in Japan. Just standing in the hall with it is quite something.
9 meters. And why 11 heads? That always makes me curious.
Good question. It's symbolic. Kannon is all about compassion, right? So the 11 faces let Kannon look in every direction at once to see all the suffering in the world and offer help. It represents boundless compassion.
That makes sense, seeing suffering everywhere. And this statue, this is the one from the legend, the one that floated.
That's the story. The Ichiboku Nitai legend, one tree, two statues. This is supposedly the one set adrift from near Osaka.
Okay, so how did it end up here in Kamakura?
Well, the legend says it floated for ages and finally washed ashore near Kamakura at Nagai Beach. And here's a really specific, kind of weird detail. It was apparently covered in oyster shells. Kakigara.
Oyster shells.
Yeah.
On a sacred statue. That's unexpected.
Isn't it? But that detail is actually really important at the temple. There's a little shrine on the grounds called Kakigara Inari Shrine.
Named after the shells.
Exactly. It honors the Inari deity connected to the statue's arrival, and those oyster shells are considered sacred because they, made the journey with the Kannon. You can even get little votive plaques there made with actual shells.
That's amazing. It makes the legend feel so grounded in the actual place, connecting this grand miracle to something as simple as shells on a beach.
It really does. And Hasedera isn't just important on its own, it's part of a bigger picture, too.
You mean the pilgrimage route?
Yep. It's number 4 on the Bandhu 33 Kannon pilgrimage. That's a really famous route covering 33 temples dedicated to Kannon all across eastern Japan. Being on that list shows how significant it's been for centuries.
Stop number 4. So quite early on the route.
Yeah, it means it's one of the key places pilgrims visit near the start of their journey. And they keep that Kannon connection alive with monthly fairs every 18th.
And wasn't there something really special in December? Something about touching the statue.
Ah, yes. The Miyashi Mari, the feet-touching ceremony. Usually you can only see the Kannon's face clearly, but during this special time in December, you can actually go up and touch the feet of this enormous statue.
Wow. To physically connect with something that huge and sacred. That must be quite powerful.
Definitely a rare opportunity. And besides the main Kannon hall, there's another important spot, the Amida Hall.
With Amida Buddha.
Right, seated Amida Nyorai. And this one has a connection to someone really famous, Minamoto no Yoritomo.
The first Kamakura shogun. Really?
That's the tradition. It's believed he commissioned the statue.
Okay, that's a big deal. What does that tell us about the temple back then?
It suggests it had serious clout, Patronage from the shogun himself would have cemented its importance right from the start of the Kamakura era. Political and spiritual weight.
So we've got these deep roots, legends, major figures. But when you visit Hasedera today, a huge part of the experience is just the place itself, right? The layout, the nature.
Oh, absolutely. It's built on a hillside, which dictates everything. You basically climb up through it, moving between a lower and an upper area.
Like a little journey within the temple grounds.
Kinda, yeah. As you go up, you hit the main halls, the Kannon we talked about, the Amida Hall. And there's also a sutra repository.
What's that?
It houses Buddhist scriptures, but the interesting feature is this big, revolving bookshelf inside, packed with sutras. The idea was if you turned it once...
You got the credit for reading everything.
Yeah.
Efficient.
Yeah. Though they only tend to turn it during specific rituals now. Still, it's a cool concept, and if you want to dive deeper into the temple's treasures...
There's a museum.
Yep, the Kannon Museum opened back in 2015. It's got some really valuable stuff like that 13th century bell we mentioned. And also statues showing the 33 different forms Kannon can take helps you understand the pilgrimage connection better.
Okay, but we have to talk flowers. It's called the Temple of Flowers for a reason.
Oh, definitely. It's gorgeous year-round.
Wow.
Spring's got cherry blossoms, peonies.
But summer, that's hydrangea season, isn't it? I've seen pictures.
It's spectacular. Seriously. There are over 2,500 hydrangea bushes, something like 40 different kinds.
Yeah.
The paths winding up the slope are just bursting with color in, like June and July. It's a major draw.
Blues, purples, pinks. Incredible. What about other seasons?
Autumn is classic beauty, fantastic fall colors. They sometimes do night illuminations then, too, which sounds magical, seeing the maples lit up.
Oh, wow.
And even winter has its moments with camellias and plum blossoms. There's always something blooming.
So you make your way up past the halls through these amazing gardens,
Mm-hmm.
and then you reach the top.
And you get the reward,
Hmm.
the view from the observation deck. It's stunning.
What can you see?
You look right out over Yugahama Beach, Sagami Bay. You can see the Miura Peninsula, and if it's super clear, maybe even Izu Oshima Island way out there.
It's like the perfect spot to catch your breath after the climb.
Definitely. Though, good tip from the sources, it can get pretty windy up there, so maybe keep a jacket handy.
Good point. Now, besides the big sites, aren't there some hidden things to look for? Those statues?
Yes. The Ryon Jizo statues. It adds a bit of fun, like a treasure hunt.
How many are there?
3 little stone Jizo statues tucked away in different spots. Jizo is often seen as a protector, and these ones are meant to bless you with good relationships. Finding all 3 is kind of a fun challenge.
Cute. Isn't there another Jizo that's really popular, especially for photos?
Yes, the Nagomi Jizo. Nagomi means like peace or harmony. It's this wonderfully gentle-looking statue, often smiling. People love taking pictures with it.
Oh.
You see lots of souvenirs of him, too. He's sort of become an icon for the temple's softer, friendlier side. Very popular with, couples visiting.
A nice contrast to the giant cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've been out in the sun on the hillside,
Mm-hmm.
but there's somewhere underground, too?
That's right, the Benten Kutsu Cave. It's carved into the hillside, dedicated to Benzaiten. She's the goddess of arts, music, water.
And people think someone famous meditated there.
Yeah, the story is that Kobodayushi, a really important monk, used this cave for meditation.
What's it like inside? Dark and mysterious.
Pretty much. It's fairly narrow, low ceilings in parts. You walk through and see carvings of Benzaiten and her attendants set into the walls. It's cool, damp, definitely has a very ancient, sacred feel. Totally different vibe from the gardens.
Intriguing. And if you're hoping for a bit of good fortune, maybe financial luck.
Then you head to the Daikokudo Hall. This enshrines Daikokuten, one of the 7 lucky gods linked to wealth and prosperity.
And there's a statue you can interact with.
Uh-huh. The Sawari Daikoku, the touching Daikoku.
Let me guess, you touch it for good luck.
You got it. Rub the statue, hope some of that good fortune rubs off on you. It's another one of those nice, tangible ways to connect.
So much to see and do just wandering the grounds. But can you get more involved, like hands-on spiritual practice?
Yes, absolutely. They offer experiences like sutra copying, that's Shakyo, or tracing images of Buddha, which is Shakyu-butsu. Oh, cool. Where do you do that?
In this really peaceful study hall, apparently it overlooks a lovely, dry landscape garden. Sounds very calming.
Do you need to be like an expert calligrapher or book way ahead?
Nope, that's the great thing. The sources say it's super accessible, no reservations needed. They provide all the stuff, brushes, ink, paper, the text or image.
Okay.
And importantly, they have tables and chairs, so you don't have to kneel uncomfortably for ages.
That's good to know. How long does it take?
Copying a sutra is maybe an hour. Tracing an image takes a bit longer, maybe 2 hours. There's a fee, about 1,200 yen, for the materials. But it seems like a really wonderful way to just slow down and focus.
Definitely sounds like a mindful activity.
Right after all that exploring and concentrating, I'd be hungry. Is there food?
There is. And with the killer view, the Kaikin Cafe. It's up on the hill, great ocean views from the windows, and they serve shojin ryori.
Ah, Buddhist vegetarian cuisine.
Exactly. No meat or fish, often focuses on seasonal veggies. They mention things like temple curry or udon noodles. The sources actually call it a healing experience. Good food, amazing view.
That sounds perfect. Okay, I'm sold. How do you get to Hasedera?
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
If you're using the charming little Inoshima train line, the in and get off at Ha Station, it's about a 5-minute walk uphill from there.
Okay. Any other way?
Yeah, you can also take a bus from the main JR Kamakura station. Look for the Kannon stop, and again, it's about a 5-minute walk. Very manageable.
Great. Any last practical tips for visitors?
Well, definitely wear comfortable shoes. You're walking up slopes and stairs. Good news is the restrooms are meant to be clean. And, always smart to check the official temple website before you go, just for latest hours or any special event info.
Right. Good call. So when you pull it all together, Hasedera really is this incredible blend, isn't it? Ancient legends, deep faith focused on Kannon, those stunning seasonal gardens, art, history, and even these fun little Jizo statues.
It really is. It feels like it captures the essence of Kamakura's spiritual but accessible, beautiful, layered with stories. A must visit, I'd say.
For sure. And just thinking about the founding legend again, this huge sacred statue carved from a tree, deliberately cast into the sea, floating across the ocean, only to wash up on this beach, covered in mundane oyster shells that then become sacred.
Right.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How does that kind of story, weaving together miracle, nature's power, and specific physical local details, how does that shape how sacred a place feels? It's not just that the temple is there overlooking the sea, but the story of how it got there seems to soak right into the ground itself. Something to think about as you explore.
What did you think?
We hope the rest of your stay at Toshi's place will be filled with wonderful memories.